Look at something red, an apple, a stop sign, a drop of blood. We both call it red. We both stop at red lights. We both call the apple ripe, but the red you actually see inside your head. I can never know if it matches mine. Maybe what you see as red, I see as your blue, and neither of us would ever find out. And here's the unsettling part. There is no experiment, not now, not ever, that could check. This is one of the strangest questions in all of philosophy. And once you feel it, you can't unfeel it. So tonight, is your red the same as my red? Let's walk through it slowly. Imagine two children looking at the same red rose. Inside one child's mind, the rose glows with a feeling we'll call warm red, but inside the other child, the very same rose glows with the feeling you would call blue. Their inner colors are swapped, flipped, an inverted spectrum. Now here is the trap. Both children were taught the same word for that rose, red. So they will always agree. Both say the rose is red. Both say the sky is blue. Their words line up perfectly, while their private worlds may be mirror opposites. And nothing they could ever say would reveal the difference. Think about what we actually share when we talk about color. We share labels. We share behavior. We never share the feeling itself. Ask me to describe red, and I'll say warm, like fire, like a sunset. But you'd call your fire warm too. The descriptions match, even if the experiences don't. Every test we could run only checks behavior. Does she stop at the light? Yes. Does she sort the ripe fruit? Yes. Pass every test. And the inner feeling is still completely hidden. The word red is shared. The experience of red is sealed forever. But it gets stranger, because here's something most people never learn. Color isn't actually in the world at all. It's built inside your head. Out there, light is just wavelengths, waves of different lengths, nothing more. And a wavelength has no color. 700 nanometers isn't red, it's just a number. The redness, the actual glow you see, is manufactured by your brain from signals in your eye. 3 kinds of cone cells catch the light. Your brain mixes their signals and paints the world, which means color isn't a property of objects. It's a construction, not a lie, but a useful translation of real light into something you can see. A story your mind tells. And we know it's built because it's built differently in different people. Some people are colorblind. Their cones differ, and reds and greens collapse together. And a rare few, called tetrachromats, have an extra cone. They may see colors you can't even imagine. Remember the dress. Some saw white and gold. Some saw black and blue. The same photo, different brains. Even language bends it. Ancient Greek had no real word for blue. Homer called the sea wine dark. So color isn't fixed out there in the apple. It's assembled, privately, inside each of us. Philosophers have a name for these private inner feelings. They call them qualia. A quale is the raw, what it's like. The redness of red, the sting of cold, the taste of lemon. And qualia point at the deepest puzzle in the science of the mind. In 1995, a philosopher named David Chalmers gave it a name. The hard problem of consciousness. Here's the problem. You could map every single neuron that fires when I see red and still never explain why it feels like anything at all. That missing step has a name. The explanatory gap. Now put on an engineer's glasses for a moment, because this is where it bites. I can build you a machine. A simple sensor that detects 700 nanometer light. Light hits it, and it prints one word. Red. Flawlessly. Every time. Perfect function. It names red better than you do. But inside, nothing. No glow, no feeling. The lights are on, and no one's home. Which raises a haunting question. If the function doesn't need the feeling, What is the feeling even for? Philosophers push this to its edge with a thought experiment. The philosophical zombie. Imagine a being exactly like you. Same brain, same words, same laughter, but dark inside, no one home. You could never tell it apart from a real person. And that is exactly what makes the puzzle so hard. There's one more story you need. Philosophers call it Mary's Room. It comes from Frank Jackson, 1982. Mary is a brilliant scientist. She knows every physical fact about color, every wavelength, every cone, every neuron. But she has lived her whole life in a black and white room. She has never once seen red. Then one day, the door opens, and she steps outside, and she sees a red rose for the very first time. Here is the question that has haunted philosophy ever since. Does Mary learn something new in that moment? If she does, if seeing red teaches her something all her facts never could, then the feeling is something more than the physics, something facts alone can't capture. And yes, philosophers still argue fiercely over what this proves. That gap between knowing everything about red and finally feeling it is the whole mystery in one woman's eyes. So why are we still so sure other people are conscious at all? Honestly, because they're built like us. Same brains, same behavior. It would be strange if they were hollow. It's the most reasonable bet in the world. But it is, in the end, still a bet. We take it on faith. And here's the contradiction that should keep you up. The one thing you are most certain of, that your own experience is real and vivid and yours, is the single thing you can never prove, never share, and never compare with another living soul. You are sealed inside the only mind you will ever know from the inside. Every other consciousness is a locked room you take on faith. We will never see another person's red. We simply trust that they see one at all. And that quiet trust is the closest we ever come to touching another mind. And there's always another question waiting in the dark. The next one is right there on your screen. Come wonder about it with me. Sleep well. You're a little less in the dark now. I'll see you at the next midnight question.